Charles E. Boles, commonly known as Black Bart, was a captivating American outlaw who etched his name into the history books with the poetic messages he left behind during his daring robberies. His magnetic personality earned him the nickname Charlie amongst his companions, and he was sometimes known as Charles or C.E. With an air of elegance and sophistication, he embodied the essence of a gentleman bandit, becoming a legendary figure notorious for his exploits in Northern California and Southern Oregon during the 1870s and 1880s. Charles was born in England, and at the age of 2, they made the move from England to Jefferson County, New York to settle their family in America. He was fueled by the fervor of the California gold rush, and him and his brother David and James embarked on a quest in 1849 to find their own riches in California. They did return home in 1852, but fate beckoned the Boles back to the West Coast. Unfortunately for his brothers David and Robert, both of them succumbed to illness as soon as they arrived, and Charles was to remain in California for the next 2 years, but eventually the disappointment of his brothers and his lack of success made him retrace his steps to the east. In 1854, there was a significant turning point in Boles' life, and he married the love of his life, a woman named Mary Elizabeth Johnson. And by the dawn of 1860, the couple had found themselves in Decatur, Illinois, raising their 4 children in their humble abode. The eruption of the Civil War beckoned Boles to don the uniform of a private in the Company B, 116th Illinois Regiment. Remarkably, his exemplary service and unwavering dedication earned him the rank of first sergeant within a year. He fought valiantly and witnessed the horrors of battle, including the fateful encounter at the Battle of Vicksburg. And later, he joined Sherman's march to the sea. Recognized for his valor, he received commissions as both a second lieutenant and first lieutenant. On June 7th of 1865, he was honorably discharged alongside his regiment in the hallowed grounds of Washington, D.C., where he was finally reunited with his family in Illinois. Driven by an insatiable thirst for adventure and fortune, he once found his lure to the unknown. In 1867, he embarked on a journey to Idaho and Montana, embracing the arduous life as a gold prospector. A surviving letter from August of 1871 reveals a troubling encounter with Wells Fargo and Company agents, further igniting the flames of revenge that built within him. Tragically, his wife never received another letter, leading her to believe that he had perished in the treacherous wilderness. Thus emerged the criminal career of the enigmatic Black Bart. Donning his infamous moniker, he proceeded to terrorize Wells Fargo stagecoaches, perpetrating a staggering 28 robberies across the landscapes of Northern California between 1875 and 1883. His audacious exploits extended along the historic Siskiyou Trail. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I think it's Siskiyou or Siskiyou. Either way, the Siskiyou Trail that weaves between California and Oregon. Although he only left behind 2 poetic gems, one at the 4th and one at the 5th robbery sites, these verses became his signature, ensuring that his name would echo through time. Black Bart's ventures proved overwhelmingly fruitful, amassing him a fortune that often reached thousands of dollars per year, and given the time, it'd be a lot of money. Black Bart was captivating with his criminal prowess. He actually was plagued by irrational fears of horses, which is kind of shocking given the time, but he executed all of his heists on foot. He would adorn a long linen duster coat, and crowned with a stylish bowler hat, he concealed his identity behind a makeshift mask crafted from a flour sack, and had holes cut out so he could see. A shotgun remained firmly gripped in his hands, but he never resorted to violence, capturing the attention of the public and cementing his image as an anomaly in the realm of outlaws. Boles maintained a consistent air of politeness and refrained from using foul language, despite its occasional presence in his poetic verses. He conducted himself with refined demeanor, leaving a lasting impression on all who encountered him. His signature attire, paired with his nonchalant approach to his criminal endeavors, became the defining traits of Black Bart's unforgettable persona. The chronicles of Black Bart's criminal exploits started in July 26th of 1875 when he orchestrated his maiden stagecoach robbery in California. Commanding a deep and resonant voice, he politely instructed stage driver John Shine to surrender the coveted strongbox. With a commanding gesture, he warned, quote, "If he dares to shoot, give him a solid volley, boys," prompting Shine to swiftly relinquish his prize. After Black Bart vanished into thin air, Shine ventured to retrieve the strongbox, only to discover that the menacing rifle barrel protruded from the nearby bush was nothing more than a carefully orchestrated decoy. Black Bart's audacious debut gave him about $160. The curtain fell on Black Bart's career with his final robbery of November 3rd of 1883 at the very location that his first heist had unfolded, a place called Funk Hill, nestled southeast of present-day Copperopolis. Concealing his visage behind his familiar flour sack mask, he initiated his calculated assault on the stagecoach, driven by Reason McConnell. Pretty cool name, I've never heard the name Reason. As it crossed the Reynolds Ferry along the age-old route of the Sonora to Milton. At the ferry, a man named Jimmy Rolari, son of the ferry owner, eagerly joined the stage, armed with his trusty rifle. Descending at the foot of the hill to embark on a hunting excursion along the creek, Rolari intended to reunite with the stage on the other end. As he reached the western end of the summit, he saw the stage driver with a team of horses. Reason McConnell shared the tale of Boles' ambush, recounting how the outlaw had emerged from behind a boulder, brandishing his shotgun at the stage approaching its zenith. Forcing Reason McConnell to unhitch the team and transport them across the crest of the hill, Black Bart was able to turn his attention to the elusive strongbox with the stagecoach still there. To his dismay, he encountered it in an unexpected hurdle. The box had been securely bolted to the floor and required substantial effort to dislodge. As Reason McConnell and Jimmy Rolari ascended the hill, they glimpsed at Black Bart moving himself from the stage while he was clutching the precious strongbox. Reason McConnell grabbed Rolari's rifle and took 2 shots at the fleeing bandit, but he missed. Jimmy Rolari seized his opportunity and fired at Black Bart himself as he retreated into the concealment of thick foliage. Black Bart stumbled, seemingly struck by the bullet. Racing towards the thicket, the pursuers discovered a small, blood-stained parcel, a bundle of mail the outlaw had inadvertently dropped. Wounded in the hand, Black Bart continued his desperate flight until he reached a quarter-mile mark where he succumbed to exhaustion. Grasping a tattered handkerchief, he staunchly wrapped it around his hand to curb the bleeding. Finding his solace behind a decaying log, he actually stashed the gold within that in like a hidden recess, retaining just $500 in gold coins. Concealing his shotgun within the hollow of a mighty tree, he abandoned all other remnants of his criminal past and vanished into the abyss. In a manuscript scribed by the driver, Reason McConnell, nearly 2 decades after the heist, he claimed to have discharged all 4 rounds at Black Bart. Though he thought he missed his mark, McConnell surmised that either the second or third bullet found its target, while he remained certain that the fourth had struck the elusive outlaw. Curiously, Black Bart suffered only a single wound to his hand. The pursuit of justice ensued once Black Bart's escape concluded, and he unwittingly left behind an assortment of his personal effects. Among them were his eyeglasses, remnants of his meal, a handkerchief adorned with the laundry mark FX07. Wells Fargo detectives James B. Hume and Harry N. Morse embarked on a quest, meticulously visiting nearly 90 laundries throughout San Francisco in search of the origins of the mysterious mark. The tenacity of their search landed them to Ferguson and Biggs' California Laundry on Bush Street, where they unearthed a vital clue. Ownership of the handkerchief belonged to a resident of a modest boarding house. Unraveling it further, detectives unveiled a portrait of Black Bart as a self-proclaimed mining engineer, frequently embarking on, quote, business trips, his thefts, the business trips, that conveniently coincided with Wells Fargo's ill-fated encounters. Initially denying any association with Black Bart, Charles Boles eventually admitted to his involvement in multiple stagecoach robberies. However, he only confessed to crimes committed before 1879, and he believed that the statute of limitations had lapsed for his earlier crimes. When formally booked, he identified himself as T.Z. Spaulding, but the authorities stumbled upon a Bible, a cherished gift from his wife inscribed with his true name. The police painted Boles as, quote, a person of great endurance, who exhibited genuine wit under the most trying circumstances and was extremely proper and polite in behavior. Ultimately, Black Bart faced justice and received 6-year sentence in San Quentin prison for the final robbery. However, his exemplary conduct during his prison sentence earned him an early release after just 4 years, in January of 1888. His time behind bars had taken a visible toll on his well-being, marked by visible aging, failing eyesight, and partial deafness in one ear. Reporters besieged him upon his liberation, inquiring if he had harbored intentions of resuming his criminal exploits. With a disarming smile, he responded, quote, no, gentlemen, I'm through with crime. I didn't do a British accent, but I just figured I'd try to smart it up a little bit. Boles on his release never returned to his wife, although he did maintain a correspondence with her. In one of his letters, he expressed weariness from the constant surveillance of Wells Fargo, a sense of demoralization, and an ardent desire to escape the shackles of society. In February of 1888, Boles abruptly just vanished, bidding farewell to the Nevada house and slipping into the realm of obscurity. Hume, the person who helped investigate him from Wells Fargo, claimed that Wells Fargo had traced him to the Visalia House hotel in Visalia, but the hotel owner attested that the figure's check-in was just kind of a disappearance. The sighting of Black Bart on February 28th of 1888 marked the final trace of the notorious outlaw. His ultimate fate and the circumstances of his later life are a mystery, and we do not know what happened to him when he left that hotel. The legend of Black Bart endures as an embodiment of the extraordinary and inexplicable things that happened in the Wild West. A gentleman bandit who adorned the pages of history with poetic verse, he captured the imagination of the public, and he carved his place in the annals of outlaw lore. The tale of Black Bart serves as a testament to the allure of the Wild West, where figures like him roamed the untamed frontier, defying conventions and leaving behind a legacy that continues to captivate generations of fans, including pretty much everybody on this channel. Before we end this episode, please don't leave, because I am going to read the poems that he left that are authenticated to be Black Bart's poems he left at his robberies. This first one was found at the scene August 3rd of 1877 during a stage holdup from Point Arena to Duncan's Mills, California. This is the following poem. Quote, I've labored long and hard for bread, for honor and for riches, but on my corns too long you tread, you fine-haired sons of bitches. Black Bart, 1877. The second verse was left at the site of his July 25th, 1878 holdup of a stage traveling from Quincy to Oroville, California. And here it is, quote, Here I lay me down to sleep, to wait the coming morrow, perhaps success, perhaps defeat, and everlasting sorrow. Let come what will, I'll try it on. My condition can't be worse, and if there's money in that box, 'tis money in my purse. Black Bart. That's my favorite one. The other one was kind of funny because I said, you fine hair sons of bitches. 'Tis money in my purse sounds way cooler as an outlaw of the Wild West. I hope you really enjoyed this one. I didn't know about this outlaw. One of our listeners sent this one that I should be researching this one. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks, y'all.